So hi, my name is Evan Hutchison. I'm here today to demo Rescunet. Basically, Rescunet is a network device that creates a broader network in the case of disruptions, whether it be a power outage or a hurricane or any sort of event that disrupts the power and communications grid. Essentially, with Rescunet, what you're able to do is set up web services that act locally without a connection to the greater internet and are able to self-power for an extended period of time after a disruption. Also, outside of the context of disruption, this can serve as a wireless access point and a networking device, particularly for educational and healthcare applications in developing countries. So let's explain real quick exactly what the Rescunet device is. So this is the first prototype. We've used a lot of off-the-shelf components and tried to bring them together into a workable framework. So the first point is the BeagleBone Black. And this serves as a mini computer and server. So the web services that the end user is able to connect to in emergency are hosted on this. It's a Linux platform and it has an ARM Cortex-8 processor. So it's a pretty robust and powerful little device that currently has 2 gigabytes of memory on the hard drive. The other important component is the power source. So this, right now we're experimenting with a 10,400 milliamp hour device, and again, this is to have online when there's either a short-term disruption or a long-term disruption to the power supply, so it's not dependent on the grid. And then here you see 2 Wi-Fi adapters, and these essentially serve to create a mesh grid between the devices. And so not only will this allow 2 of the devices to communicate with each other and propagate information across the network, it'll also allow end users to access the device as they would any 2.4 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz eventually wireless signal, Wi-Fi signal. And then the super special component is a 900 megahertz radio. So with these components in a semi-dense urban area with the 2.4 gigahertz regular Wi-Fi, it's hard to get beyond 1,000 feet of range. What this does for us is boost our range within an urban area up to 1 kilometer, and then within line of sight up to 40 kilometers. So this again is the first. This is an RFD 900 unit that we're hoping to also, so eventually what we'll have is 900 megahertz units that can communicate over these extended different distances, but also with across an ad hoc mesh protocol. So essentially what you'll have is a bunch of these devices. The internet is just a network of networks. Right? So what this does is create a network that's not dependent on the rest of the internet or power sources, and it can become a node for a community like the Philippines during the recent typhoon, or like New York during the superstorm, that will enable that community, at least immediately, to get together, organize, and act. So